Hello student, welcome to the very first lecture of the 10th standard. In this topic, I am going to revise the numbers where we are using the numbers in daily life. The time, distances, length, weight and the temperature. We all are using the numbers. That these numbers are called as real numbers and that can be represented on the number line. At the middle of number line there is 0 and left negative numbers, and at the right positive numbers are there. That all numbers are equally spaced. The positive number and negative number along with the 0 are called as integers. Positive numbers are called positive integer, negative numbers are called as a negative integer. Positive integer are also called as a natural number. Now, the positive integers and 0 along with both the together are called as whole numbers. Now, negative integers and whole numbers together are called as integers. Positive integers are again classified as a prime numbers and composite number. The prime numbers means the numbers which have only two factors, that is number 1 and itself. Where for example 2 has only two factors, that is 1 and 2 itself. 3 has only two factors, that is 1 and 3 itself. Similarly 5 has only two factors, that is 1 and 5. So these are called the prime numbers. Now composite numbers have the more than two factors, or we can say at least three factors. For example 4 has 1, 2 and 4 are the factors of the 4. So the 4 has three factors. Now 6 has four factors, that is 1, 2, 3 and 6. These all are called the composite number. Now 1 is neither prime nor composite, as 1 has only one factor, that is 1 itself. So it is neither prime nor composite. In between these two integers, in between any two integers, there are so many numbers in the form of fractions or decimals. For example, in between 0 and 1 there is 0.5, and in the terms of fraction you can write it as a 1 by 2. Similarly, in between -2 and -3 there is -5 by 2, that is in the decimal form you can write is -2.5. This type of numbers are called as a rational number, as they represent the ratio of the two integers, so they are called as a rational numbers. Every integer on the number line can be represented as the ratio of two integers. For example, 0 can be written as 0 upon 1, 1 can be written as 1 upon 1, so on. That means integers along with fraction form the rational number. Now rational numbers are classified as terminating decimal and non-terminating but repeating decimals. Let us take the example 3 by 2 equal to 1.5. It is the terminating decimal expansion of 3 by 2. So rational number can be terminating decimal expansion. Another example is 1 by 3. It is 0.333. It is the non-terminating but repeating decimal expansion. This both the terminating and non-terminating repeating decimal expansion represented as a rational number in the p by q form, where q not equal to 0. Other than this number, there is a root 2 like number between 1 and 2, which are non-terminating and non-repeating decimal expansion, and that are called as irrational number. For example, root 2, root 3, root 5 and pi are some of the irrational number. Now the rational number along with the irrational number together are called as a real number. Here we revise integers, whole number, prime number, composite number, that all together are called as a real number and can be represented uniquely on the number line. In this, we can discuss SCF and Euclid division lemma. We already discussed what are the positive integers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and and so on. Now let us see what is the mean by these positive integers have some relation with each other. For that, let us take some example. 12, 30, 42, 18. Can you see something common between these four numbers? So for that, finding something common, we can factorize them, and then we can see what is the common factor between these all the four numbers by multiplication method. So let us find the factors of 12. You can write 12 as a 1 into 12 or 2 into 6 or 3 into 4. These all the three ways, only three ways you can write the 12. Similarly, we can write for the 30, 42 and 18. Now what you can observe that in this all can be represented in the product of two numbers that are called the factors. Means 12 has these 6 factors, 30 has this much factor, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These all means whatever we are representing as a product of some numbers. Now what you can observe that 1, 2, 3, 6 are the common factor between all these four numbers. Now among them 6 is the highest common factor, and that is called as the HCF, as it is the common highest factor among all the four number. Also it is the highest common divisor, that is as 6 is divisor of all four numbers, so it is also called as a GCD, that is highest common factor or greatest common divisor. Let us see how to find the SCF by multiplication method or by division method. SCF of 30 and 15 by multiplication method. Now first of all we have to factorize 30 and 15. So we can factorize 30 as 2 into 3 into 5, that is the prime factorization of 30. Similarly we can do for the 15, that is 3 into 5. Now SCF, if you observe the SCF of 30 and 15 is the common product of the common factor, that is 3 into 5. 3 and 5 are the common factors, so product of them is the SCF of that two given numbers. So what is the SCF of 30 and 15 is 3 into 5 equal to 15. Now let us see that how to find the SCF by the division method. Now as we know that 15 is the smaller than 30, so divide that 30 by 15. You will get the 2 as a quotient and 0 as remainder. Now 30 is called as a dividend. The number 15 is called as divisor as we dividing by it. Then the 2 is called as a quotient and 0 is the remainder. Now if you observe that this we can write 30 can be written as 15 into 2 plus 0. In another equation we can write it dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now in the multiplication method we got the SCF as 15. If you observe the equation as 15 is the divisor by which you divide the 30, so and after that you get the remainder as a 0, therefore 15 is the highest common factor, so it is called as a SCF. Means divisor is called as SCF if it leaves the remainder equal to 0 in the division method. Now let us see how to find the SCF if remainder is not equal to 0 by division method. Now let us take the example that 32 and 15. So divide 32 by 15. So you will get the remainder as a 2. So you can write 32 is equal to 15 into 2 plus 2. Now what is the remainder 2? Make it as a divisor, and before step whatever the divisor that you have to take as a dividend. So let us take 2 as a divisor and 15 as a dividend, which is the which is the divisor in previous step. So now divide 15, you will get the remainder is equal to 1. Now let us repeat the step. Here 15 can be written as 2 into 7 plus 1. Now here again remainder is not equal to 0. So let us that remainder as a divisor and the previous divisor, that is 2, as a dividend, and let us divide it. So divide 2 by 1, so that you will get the quotient as 2 and then the remainder as 0. So 2 can be written as 1 into 2 plus 0. Now in this step you got the remainder equal to 0. Therefore the 1 is the highest common factor of 15 and 32. Let us check with the multiplication method. We will do the prime factorization of 32 like this and 15 as this. Now find the SCF of 32 and 15 is the product of common factors. But if you observe, there is no common factor between 32 and 15. But you know that 1 is the factor of every number. So here SCF only common factor is 1, and so SCF is equal to 1. Here we discuss how to find the SCF by multiplication method and by division method. Most probably people are used to use the multiplication method. Now where to use the division method? Multiplication method is quite difficult when the numbers are the larger, that such as the larger number. For example, 42,237 and 33,345. Find SCF of bigger number is quite difficult to find out or list out their factors. So for this large number, to find the SCF we use the division method. Now how to use division method? Divide the larger number by the smaller number. Then we can write again as a dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now here we are not getting the remainder equal to 0. So again that remainder is going to be a divisor, and the divisor of previous step will goes for the dividend and again divide. So we will get again something dividend and repeat this procedure until we got the remainder as a 0. As we got the remainder as a 0, there here 2223 is the highest common divisor. Here to find out the HCF of larger number, the Euclid, Greek mathematician, come up with the idea, and he proved that if whenever we divide any two positive integer, we get another two integer in the form of quotient and remainder, and they can be arranged as dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder, and this is the lemma given by the Euclid, so it is called as Euclid division lemma. Then Euclid proved that if the remainder is 0, then the divisor is the SCF of that two given number. If remainder not equal to 0, we will continue the steps until we get the remainder is equal to 0, and the process where we apply this lemma is called the Euclid division algorithm. So that is all about the division algorithm and Euclid division lemma. Now let us see what we have seen in this video. Let us take a recap of these all things, and more example we will discuss in the next video. Thank you very much.